It was just a bad experience as someone who is going to take this as a sign to go visit a therapist. Hi, welcome back for a chat and grab a snack. It's your girl Leah, and today we're joined with
Watson.
As you can see, we're not in my room anymore. I thought for this video, it would be best to step outside and do something outside the comfort box. Today's video is going to be a little uncomfortable, talking about Ari Aster's movie, Beau is Afraid. I was very excited to see another wacky movie. You know, the last wacky movie I saw was Everything Everywhere All at Once from A24. I have to say, if the goal was having the viewer want to kill themselves before the movie ended, you sure did it, man. Good job. 10 out of 10.
The last A24 movie you watched was The Whale, right?
Oh shit, you're so right. And that was actually better. Actually kind of soothing. What? compared to Beau is Afraid, The Whale was soothing.
You see, maybe it did its job a little too well, if you're asking me.
We're going to break this video down into 4 chapters. Beau's home, the other family, play in the woods, and finally home. We started Beau is Afraid at his therapist, and he gets prescribed a new medication. From the top, I already see that Beau has some form of anxiety, maybe some schizophrenia mixed in there.
I'm thinking that this man is... I thought it was nice for him to be going to a therapist. Or isn't that what a psychiatrist does?
I thought so. Psychiatrist prescribes medicine. But...
yeah.
Okay.
Details.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fake on you. The way he perceived the world was very interesting. And for him to... I was still wondering when the medication was going to kick in the beginning of the movie. Because I swear, this man took a pill before he left the place, or at least when he got home. And even though he drank water, he was going even crazier.
I swear, a man lives in Gotham City. He had all types of violent crime happening 5 feet from his window.
I kind of want them to make Gotham now. Like, I want them to make a Batman
And it's
movie.
so funny because, you know, Joaquin Phoenix was Joker. Beau was him.
Oh!
Joker and Beau are the same person.
Bro, he gained so much weight that I couldn't even tell you. Oh
my god, you're right. He was really skinny for the Joker.
He was really skinny.
Beau gets his medicine that was supposed to help for his anxiety, I guess. 2 pills a day by mouth, and he has to take it with water. The main thing that his therapist is drilling into him. He gets home. All we know about this man is that this man has to go visit his mother. He's afraid. He's a little nervous. He wakes up late for his flight to go see his mother. Because we're following the main character's Beau, we have an unreliable perspective of the whole movie. That mixed with the fact that the movie could have just been a nightmare the whole time. That's like what it felt like the whole movie. And not to mention the movie's 3 hours, which I swear some of it could have been cut out. Just a little bit. It could have been 2 hours and 30 minutes, okay? I would have took that over 3 hours of wanting to, like, leave. There was a point in the movie where I was literally crying because I wanted to leave, and my flight senses wanted to leave, and I just couldn't because he wouldn't leave. It was just a bad experience as someone who is going to take this as a sign to go visit a therapist. I need anxiety. I have anxiety, so seeing that whole movie for 3 hours just was a big anxiety attack for me.
I feel like they did great on showing it from his perspective.
Yeah.
I normally don't get inside the mind of someone who is, or of any character in most TV shows and all sorts of media. So like you literally see through his eyes, and then I started feeling anxiety too. Oh,
and I can't tell what was real or if it was just him imagining the worst case scenario every single time. For example, as he's, medication 2 times a day and eats with water. He takes the medication, he forgets that his building turns off the water. So he's like running to all the faucets trying to get water. And then he's just like, oh crap. But before this, his luggage and the keys get stolen right out his door. So he's unable to get to his mother. He takes anxiety medicine because he's freaking out, realizes there's no water. And then as he's looking out the window, he sees the shop across the street, puts out some water. He runs downstairs, puts a little phone book in front of the door, and then runs across the street to get some water. He goes to inside this convenience store, grabs some water, drinks it, fine. You think everything's fine. And then he has another worst case scenario situation happen with the cashier where he's like, more change. That's not enough, sir. Do you want me to call the police? And I'm like, yes. And that was just like the first 20 minutes of the movie. That interaction is like every worst case scenario you could think about having. As he's having this interaction with the cashier, he looks across the street at his propped open apartment building to see the hoodlums of Gotham running into his apartment. And he's just like, please. He throws the change at the dude and he runs back to his apartment where they slam and lock him out. He decides to climb like the fire escape or some like scaffolding they had, and he's just looking at all the hoodlums partying in his apartment, thrashing everything around.
They thrash his whole apartment building, and then he basically goes to sleep and then when he wakes up to, what is that?
The construction worker?
Yeah, the construction worker drilling something. I don't know what he was drilling. All you see him is drilling up into the ceiling or whatever. He makes his way downstairs to finally go through the broken glass, which used to be his door.
Yeah.
Or his front door to the building.
One of the men that tried to chase him and that he locked out like earlier in the movie was like dead in front of his apartment.
With a scorch mark on his neck, I think. Or
I thought it was a bite mark.
It looked burned too. I don't know.
It was gross.
But they looked like there was poop, blood, and everything everywhere. There was barely anything in his apartment to begin with, but whatever he had was totally messed up.
So he's just like, okay, that happened. Nothing I can do about it. Let me just take a bath. He's putting the soap in the bathtub. He's running the water. Then he decides to call his mom, waiting for the water to fill up the tub. All of a sudden, some random UPS guy answering the phone like, hello? This part was so funny, by the way. Like, hello, I just found a lady here and you're saying it's your mom. He's like, my mom's dead? He's like, I don't know. He's
I didn't say that.
I didn't say your mom's dead. I just said the lady that's here is missing a head and this was her phone. And he was like, why are you saying my mom's dead? He's like, I didn't say that. He's like, okay, just hang up the phone and call back. And then if she answers, maybe you dialed the wrong number. He hangs up. He calls him again. He's just like,
I'm so sorry.
The comedy was there for sure. There was a few times I was just laughing. Granted, I'm so happy it was just us and like two other people in the theater, so forget about them. But I was busting out laughing for these parts. I was so funny.
He really was like, maybe you dialed the wrong number.
He's like, did you dial this number? He's like, no,
it's saved on my phone.
It's saved in my phone. He's like, oh.
Saved on your phone?
Maybe you should just hang up and then call us back, and then maybe she'll answer. And then he calls back. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Bo is sitting there in shock for a couple hours. And then, like, the water starts overflowing from the tub. He says, fuck it. He just jumps into the tub. All of a sudden, we see drips coming from above him. And we're just like, the tub water's right here. What is dripping above us? We look above us, and it's some worker, like, Spider-Man, like, in between. Sorry. He's like Spider-Man in between the buildings, and he's sweating, and Bo's just like,
it looked like tears, spit, or sweat.
I think he was sweating. I don't know why he was up there.
I wonder what the heck he was hiding from.
I don't know what he was
hiding
up
from
there.
Everybody for?
I don't know what he was up there for. I don't know.
Was he hiding from everybody else?
Maybe he was hiding from the hoodlums. He lands on Bo while he's in the tub. They're over here like wrestling with each other.
Oh, nudity is very, very much in this movie. I'm not talking about an X videos type of nudity on type of movie. Just a warning.
Bo runs out butt naked. He runs to this cop trying to ask for help. Reminder, he's butt naked. And then he's just like, freeze! Please don't make me do this!
And then the worst case scenario actually happened, which because he was originally running from the naked guy that was stabbing people. He actually ran away, got hit by a car.
And I think the murder dude still gets him.
Yeah.
And then the people that hit him with the truck picks him up and takes him home, which leads us to chapter 2, the other family. Bo gets taken away to Grace and Robert and their daughter Tony and their nice little family. They stitch him up. Robert's a surgeon. Grace is a nice, sweet little lady. And their daughter is
drug addict?
There's some theories about this family, right? They're saying Grace was actually a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Robert was the doctor. Tony was like another patient in the hospital, and then Jeeves was a security guard, which makes sense about that and like them refusing him not to leave. was still really weird.
She's just another patient. So why is she calling them mom and dad? And just like,
Because if in the doctor family, like in his head, he's in this home, but in reality, he would be in like a hospital. Is what the theory is saying.
okay,
Jeeves would be like the security guard. That's why he was outside, like, you know, guarding. Which and he to Bo is like more of like aggressive and military. There is also their late son Nathan, which is mentioned a lot in the film. I don't really know the correlation between just what happened in the film and Nathan. And I think he was just a presence in the movie.
yes,
A few things happen while Bo is with the other family. He's asking to leave. They are treating his stab wound, and they say that's why he can't leave. They're giving him options to go later on in the day, tomorrow, next day. But Bo's like, I want to go. And they're also giving him medication.
which he takes without question.
They're
Day
doctors.
one. Literally day one. Everybody's taking medication, and I'm wondering, like, why are you taking this without question? You didn't even ask what it was, is my problem.
So while we were watching the movie, we actually thought of another theory that I haven't seen anyone really talk about, which is like the parents are like kidnapping people. I think that could be the case
Making their own collective hive.
because they wouldn't let this grown man leave for whatever reason. Like, even if you were helping a civilian off the street, if I say I want to leave, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the situation with Nathan seems like that could have been their real son.
Mm-hmm.
And once he died, they like brought in everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
including his friend Jeeves, who was working with him in what was it, the Air Force,
The army.
He has severe PTSD, and he's also being a grown man being medicated and unable to leave this family of good people.
Mm-hmm.
So this part kind of reminded me of Coraline in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where she goes to the other family and they're all nice and they're all treating them like, oh, here's some food, you love us, we're gonna give you that family love you never had.
Mm-hmm.
He never had a dad, now he has a whole attentive dad.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert is like the most stereotypical dad ever. He's walking around with like a baseball or football. Hey champ, how are you doing today? Are you winning, champ? Are you winning, son? And then the mom was like everything that he could have asked for in his own mother.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I thought maybe it was like, that's why I call it the other family. The daughter, I feel like his perception of teenage women
Mm-hmm.
is like he's stunted from his first love, which is Elaine, and that's his only touch of like love from as a teenager. I can't tell you why she was acting so unhinged. I don't know if it was just his perspective of a teenage girl,
Mm-hmm.
or if she was actually like that. The girl, Tony, she does a couple of mean things towards Bo, including videotaping him, forcing him to smoke weed.
I didn't understand this whatsoever. They drove around the block. They recorded an older man. I think she was literally just straight up just the idea of Unhinged. Like, if Unhinged was a person, it would literally be just Tony.
But she did such a good job. Like, even hearing her, like, screaming, like, I wanted, every time they were alone together, I wanted Bo to leave. Like, it was during the scene, I was just, like, tearing up and, like, please just leave. My fight or flight was just, like, leave, because I don't fight.
Mm.
I like to leave. And the fact that he wasn't leaving was just sending me.
Mm.
One thing to note, Tony is extremely jealous of Bo. She feels like Bo is coming in, she's taking over her family. She's even stationed in her room, like he took it over. Which, we got the kidnapping idea from the fact that her room looks nothing like her personality. It has a bunch of pink and K-pop, and then you look at her and she's like drinking pills out the bottle. It just wasn't correlating, which had me thinking, this seems like I grabbed this girl off the street and now, we took her in. We were picking up all the broken pieces and making a family.
I want to believe that, but the thing is, right, she mentions her brother Nathan.
Yeah.
So therefore, it makes me believe that they actually grew up, because one of her problems with Bo was the fact that he said, oh, you come in here and you're trying to replace my brother.
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to do that.
Which made me think Nathan was the golden child, and from his death, she was just neglected like, you know, the Reddit stories we hear about all the time.
Mm.
But throughout this time, I want to mention that she also has Tony has a weird relationship with Jeeves, which isn't really mentioned. Like, she would randomly throughout the night say Bo is doing something to her, or bothering her, touching her. It's like, oh, you kissed me. And then you'll see her go to Jeeves and, like, bang on his trailer and, like, tell him something. And then he gets all pissed off and, like, gorilla on him.
I feel like that's her thing.
Manipulating?
Yeah. He's easily manipulated. Manipulated.
But her parents aren't, I guess?
No.
So,
They are obviously over controlling and overbearing. And they also know that, like, they're playing a part. So therefore, of course, they're not going to fall for any of her crap.
yeah.
It doesn't even look like they
Don't care.
They only acknowledge her when she does something bad, and that's why she keeps on probably doing bad things. It's probably growing out so bad so it goes to this point.
The day Bo is finally about to leave, he's sitting on the couch, and there's something that Grace wants to tell him so bad, but she doesn't. Instead, she whispers to him, go to Channel 78. He goes to Channel 78, and he sees himself like he's being recorded from a surveillance camera. Then, the part that was really trippy is when he pressed pause, and then he pressed fast forward. And it fast forward from the part where he was standing at to seeing the girl Tony walks in with 2 cans of paint. So he's like, what the heck? Then all of a sudden, here she comes, Tony, with 2 cans of paint, and she drags him to Nathan's room, starts, opening it up, saying, oh, you're taking away my family, you're taking away my family. She starts painting Bo's name in Nathan's room, and then she's like, let's end it, buddy. You and me together. Let's Suicide Squad, Bo's like, what the heck is going on? And it was just so chaotic.
That was actually the highlight of my fears. Like, what the fuck is going on here, honestly? Because, like, she's all for it. Like, you know what? If we're both going to get fucked up today.
Yeah, we're both in it. You know me.
We're going to drink this paint, and we're going to end it. It's like, whoa.
It's like, drinks the paint.
Whoa. Fam.
And then she started cracking open the second paint, like, okay.
Like, she's not being serious, right? She's not actually gonna do it. Is she? She ends up...
She and like from the perspective of Bo, the worst case scenario, everything happens. She picks up the can of paint, starts drinking it. From then, we hear screaming, no. Grace walks in to find Tony's neck's, like, mangled, and Bo, and they're all slipped up in the paint. And it just all starts going so bad.
I was going to say that I don't think that was the case, but it kind of looked... Oh, damn, we need to get to the end of this movie already. But what I remembered was, like, I don't remember her neck being wrangled or strangled like that, but I remember just seeing her being already lifeless by the time Grace gets there. So I don't know if this was, like, maybe seconds after she drank the paint, or was this another Bo situation where when he skipped through time in his head, and this happened like minutes ago or half an hour ago or something like that.
Grace starts freaking out. She starts trying to do CPR to Tony, and which she's drinking paint. It's over. Her eyes are changing different colors.
I didn't know that it hits automatically.
This is toxic, I guess.
I guess, but I thought you get a couple hours, before so you can get your stomach pumped or something. But damn, I didn't know it was instant.
Grace instantly turns on Bo, like, why did you do this? Jeez, get him! And then he's like running through the woods, and he's running away from their family. Which leads us to...
Chapter 3.
Into the woods, or the play in the woods. He's running away. He got away pretty good, I have to say. It was a shorter chase than I thought was going to happen with Jeeves.
The chase didn't even really end. You know what's funny? I'm surprised he didn't get caught. I thought he was going to get taken back to the home at that point.
No, but the thing is, with that chase, it makes no sense. Bo is running through the forest. He smacks his head against a tree. He gets revived by a pregnant lady who's dressed up in this, like, medieval garment. It just looked like we're in another time. And she takes him to their theater group who throws on a play throughout different parts of the woods. I just remember the play starts, and then he, like, gets teleported. Oh, wait, yeah, that is what happened.
I started assuming this man was schizophrenic at this point for the most definite.
Yeah.
Because it had the background and the setting of like what is that? I don't even know what to call it. As the play did. Like it looked very cartoony and animated.
Are you talking about the media thing?
The media thing?
The media switch? The medium switch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's traveled now he's no longer watching the play, he's in the play. You're hearing the narrator take control, not control, but explaining what goes on in Bo's life.
Yeah, so it was just like Bo, he travels far lands through different time periods and different weathers. All of a sudden, he decides to build a home. He decides to cultivate the lands, and he meets a woman, and he births 3 sons. And all of a sudden, one day, a giant wave came and took away his farm, his family, and he was separated, and he was searching and searching and searching. And all of a sudden, he went to the woods, and then he traveled until he had his last dollar, and he was invited to a play, and he had the choice of buying soup or watching the play. He decides to watch the play, and then as he's sitting through the play, he realizes the play was saying the same life that he has lived.
But the narrator on stage says, no, this is not you, even though it completely correlates to what's exactly happening in this moment. This is not you.
And then the narrators are talking to 3 boys on the stage, and Bo stands up and he starts answering the things that was about to be said in the play, and then the people in the crowd were just like, oh, as the prophecies foretold, he has returned. And they're like, Dad. He's like, my sons, my boys, my sweet boys, which was the name of the play. He's hugging his sons, and he's like, Dad, what happened to Mom? He's like, isn't she with you? She's like, no, we were raised as orphans. And he's hugging them. He's just like, wait a minute, I can't have children. And then all of a sudden, we snap back to regular Bo, who's just standing up watching the play, and then he sits down. I don't know if this is supposed to be what he would have wanted from his life, like a chance to have the kids.
The man went on another trip, basically. But, okay, this part right here actually threw me for the biggest loop. Because he thinks he meets his father.
Oh my God.
Sitting next to him. But then, next thing you know, he's dead. He blows up.
Comes back, and he's like throwing grenades, blowing people up.
Lighting up the place like Christmas.
And I'm like, dang, we didn't even get to see the end of the play.
Then you see Bo running for his life once again so we can go to the next chapter of this.
So hitchhikes his way to our next chapter, which is finally home. He finally gets home to the funeral, and he's already too late. Here I thought finally things can start coming together and making some sense. I'm tired. He's tired. Dude has run a whole marathon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. We don't get any answers. It only gets worse from here.
This was a straight up fever dream.
For real. Bo gets home, and we start getting a couple more answers to his upcoming and his upbringing and his life and his mother's life, and the whole picture starts coming together just a little bit. Bo starts going through the time life of his life, and it looks like there's advertisements for everything he's used in his life, as if his mother owned everything he's used in his life.
Mm-hmm.
From diapers to allergy medications to shavers to razors. You know, like his mother owned them, and there was an advertisement of it with Bo in it,
mm-hmm.
without him knowing about it. It seems like he's just blanked out about that memory of being in these advertisements.
He has a lot of suppressed memories.
I see that. And then we get to down the line of a picture with all these different employees making out a picture of his mother's, Mona's, face. We're seeing literally everyone we've seen during the movie. We also saw Elaine, which was like, what the heck? The girl that he had loved on from a teenager working for his mom this whole time. So at this point, I'm thinking, damn, this movie is reminding me of The Truman Show, where it was like, from birth, everyone has been like detailed and keened in on this boy's life. This is where it gets kind of saucy, we get a visitor. It's Elaine, adult Elaine, nice and beautiful, now in her 40s or something.
Mm-hmm. About the same age as Beau.
So they get together, they start having a night together. This whole time, Beau hasn't been intimate with anyone because his mother has told him if he were to, like, finish climax, he would die, because that's the same thing that happened to his father and the father before him. So they're doing it. We are thinking something bad is about to happen to this man. And he's just like, wait, I think I'm about to... And nothing happens. We're fine, right?
He's exhilarated.
Oh, I'm alive? I'm good? I guess we can keep going. Because Elaine's like, my turn. And then she dies. She's the one who dies.
Yeah.
Which made me think she created this lie to tell him based off of the medical history of the first love that he had. But I don't know what's real or what's not real, and nothing's confirmed, so I can't even confirm that. Because look, when he first met, the realest thing that happened in this movie was his meeting Elaine. Mm-hmm. That cruise ship was real. The things that happened on that cruise ship was real. Mm-hmm. It just, from the flashback from it, it was the only purest memory that he has. Right? During this cruise trip, his mother's laid next to him talking about, oh, is this your type of girl? What do you like in girls? Oh, you shouldn't do with this with girls. You know, stay with mommy. Mommy knows best. You know, type of vibe. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't surprise me if she used her power to see, okay, if he really wanted this girl, what can I use against him? But then, you know what people are saying? Another theory is, he actually died during that time because it was true what his mother was saying, right? Mm-hmm. To cope with this, kind of like the episode of BoJack Horseman, where he was in the pool. Yeah. The view from halfway down, he's died, and he put what would happen to him on Elaine to kind of like, see, this is what happens if you were to ever be intimate, but in his perspective. Mm-hmm. She dies, he throws her body off of him, and his mother walks in like, ha, 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 ha. You got that, boys? You see, this is what you're doing in your mommy's bed. I died 2 hours ago or something, or whatever. You came to my funeral, you got this girl, and you're in my bed. You're sleeping her in my bed. Is this the son I raised? You know, she's pissed. And he's there butt naked. She's like, Esteban! And they come in and they pick up Elaine and bring her out. And I'm like, okay. Which also makes sense to him being dead part, because his mother would be dead.
We're getting to my favorite part now.
He's also had these
memories
or visions of the past where he's looking at another boy being yelled at, a boy who's braver than he was, which also gave you the thought maybe he had a sibling who, disrespected him and was locked up in the basement when he disobeyed the mother. But people are also saying that was Beau and suppressed memories that he just, forgot about. Another thing they're arguing about was, who was his father? Where's his dad? And she's like, oh, you want to see your dad? Come with me. Come to the attic. And he's like, this is the same vision that he had of being younger. When he got pushed in the attic, he sees a shriveled up boy, which, I don't know, could have been the other brother or, Beau. I can't tell. And his father, which was a giant dick and balls.
That's it.
That was his dad. Which represented just the relationship the father had in the mother's life and to Beau. Your father was literally a one-night stand. I only knew him in order to conceive you. Mm-hmm. Oh, all of a sudden, Jeeves bursts through the window and starts shooting the dad, and then he dies. Yeah,
just to die again.
Yeah, just to die again. I'm like, what was the point of that? This is the fat and meat that could have been trimmed.
Beau slipped down the ladder again, made it downstairs. He's groveling on his mother's feet, apologizing profusely, and then his mother lays into him for all the years of love, and oh goddamn, I swear.
It was just gross because you are his mother. You were supposed to be loving him regardless of anything, right? You brought this boy into this world, and now you're asking him, oh, when you were 5 and you said, I don't like you, mommy, that really hurt my feelings, and I'm holding this against you as a 40-year-old man. That just makes no sense.
And then you see something snapping Bo, and then he starts strangling his mother.
Oh, but this is after he realizes what actually happened. Who was the lady that died? The lady that died was Martha. Martha was the lady who actually kind of was the mother figure to Bo his whole life. And she paid her family to use her body as as a fake death thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually killed the lady that Bo considered his real mother, and that snapped something in Bo, and he started strangling her for like 5 seconds. But despite him strangling her not long enough to actually kill her, she dies.
Mm. But it's like, it was interesting because at this time period, I realized that throughout the whole movie, he was slowly getting sober. Because towards the end, he gets cognitive ability back, and you realize from when he looked at the casket, he knew instantly that was Martha that died because of the birthmark on his hand. I noticed it. And I was like, damn, I didn't know his mom had that little patch right there. And I'm thinking like, oh, damn, she has that patch right there. And then later for me to find out that he knew that it wasn't his mom the whole time.
Mona passed down to Bo was the same treatment that she kind of didn't get from her mother. Like, her mother showed her no love. So instead of, going to a therapist and figuring that out before you have kids, she had a kid and tried to overbear her love. And when she didn't get the same overbearing love back, she took that as hatred.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie was just symbolism for, like, generational trauma and anxiety.
Hold on, because now, here's the part that really makes me believe that. Oh, gosh. After his mom dies, again, he walks to a boat at the end of the river, and then he sets sail, making me think, oh, this is gonna end just like the Truman Show.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, he's going to the water, he's gonna find, he's gonna reach the end.
And then next thing you know, bam, he stops, slams. I'm thinking like, I don't see a rock right there. And then the lights turn on. You see this man is on trial.
There's a whole stadium full of people. He's in the middle of the lake. His motor is like, and he's like just sitting there in the boat, and everyone's looking at him eating their popcorn, and it's like, ooh, it's about to get juicy. His mom's on one end, and he has his like 1-800 defense lawyer on the other side. It's
Bro, he is fighting for his life, literally. If Bo loses the case, the lawyer seems to die as well.
Yeah.
As shown 5 seconds later, when he loses the case and he gets pushed down on the rock, slams head first, and dies.
So what are we seeing during this case? We're seeing little clips throughout Bo's life where he has disrespected his mother. There's a clip of him at the mall where he ran away from his mom and he was hiding from him. And she was like looking for him. She even fell and hurt her knee. And he just sit there in the corner looking at him. And it's literally like, whoa,
he was scared.
He was
scared.
And he's like, look at him laughing. He's like, my client was scared. He was 5.
This mother's all around toxic. Like, she was overbearing is half the, not even half the problem. For me, I'm realizing now.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
We missed one of the parts. A huge part, exactly.
God damn it.
Before we even get to the trial, it is revealed. No, Mona's sitting there, and then she starts playing recordings from this man's therapy sessions. The toilet flushes, and here comes the therapist. The therapist is also one of Mona's hired employees that's been watching him this whole time, taking everything he's told and feeding it right back to her. Sorry, continue.
But, okay, this part makes me believe that none of this none of this is fake. I actually believe everything that happened that you saw on screen was something that actually happened. The only reason, because there are actually a few reasons. One, the damage that he sustained throughout the movie is still with him when he gets on that boat.
True.
And as well as when
the whole movie.
Yeah, when they brought up that guy, the tattooed man with black inked eyes.
He feeds his therapist like fish and ducks.
Yes.
But he wouldn't even help a beggar.
Yes. So when you guys say it's fake, it doesn't make sense to me because they replay the video back as the way that Bo saw it, and he's like slamming against the wall and close it. So telling me that this actually happened and everything around him was actually staged. Everything that you saw, the houses and everything, that's them creating the world for him to put him in this situation to show how he's a bad or good person.
I believe it was staged.
Mm-hmm. Except for that part of the play. That was literally him just standing there.
But this is the part where in the movie I'm just like, I wish they would have took a moment to kind of like, shuffled out, but that wouldn't be the point of the movie. Everything that I have to say, criticism going bad towards the movie, is just me wanting answers that wasn't the point of giving. Right?
But the thing, like, what I liked about this movie was the pure fact that I have so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Because it leads me to make an inference about what's going on. And that's my favorite part, because I'm currently here thinking like, oh, all of this was fake all the way until the end. Because he's clear. All the side effects of all the drugs that he was taking that possibly worked and are not just like him psychologically breaking down on a daily basis. Because tell me the truth. If you were actually put in the same situation as Bo, because I believe all the pills that he took were fake. So
I think they're fake.
The placebo effects.
Yeah.
Because Tony was.
I think it was fake. But then there's a point where it's like we are following this unreliable protagonist who could be telling us anything's happening right now.
Right.
And then there's the part where his mother, who has all this power, could be Truman showing him right now.
Right. Because I see them trying to help him break away from this. Like Grace.
Yes, exactly. Grace tells him, go to Channel 78. It feels like the part of the Truman Show where, someone tried to tell him and then they're suddenly ripped away from him, Bo's on the boat. His lawyer dies. He lost the case. And he's like, help me. Everyone's sitting there in the theater and just looking at him in the boat. The thing's like, it's getting worse. It's shaking worse. And then his legs start getting stuck. I don't understand this part. He's already on the boat. Whatever. He's shaking. His legs are stuck. All of a sudden, the boat explodes. He flips over. It's gurgling, and it stops moving. He's dead. Okay. This part, I loved it because as the boat's flipping over, it's still moving. Like, in my head, there's a possibility something else could happen. You already see people leaving the theaters as if the real people watching this movie would be leaving the theaters. It was so surreal.
Oh no, I was gonna say spoiler warning. There is no end credit scenes. Just
leave. Just leave.
But now that you remind me of that, it kind of makes me understand or believe that people can literally watch these horrific things happen. Say this person is evil or a bad person, and just let the execution happen. Basically getting canceled or whatever. And then they can get up and leave and go about their lives while that person just suffered all the consequences of like being put in that situation. Joaquin Phoenix knows how to play that role. He killed it, bro.
But Joaquin really knows how to play the crazy characters, and this director knows how to do really messed up but amazing movies. But he also did Midsommar. I don't know if you've seen that one. And Hereditary.
I watched the end of that one.
Oh, so good. Another one of those like I gotta think about this later. That was Bo is Afraid. It's gotten me afraid. I think I'm going to be calling my therapist soon.
It's getting dark. We got to get home.
I'm already getting afraid. Like, it's getting dark. I would say, when I first left the movie, I was saying 7 out of 10. Because I think I was generally just upset because of my own anxieties. The movie is 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's very messy. But it's supposed to represent a nightmare. You're not supposed to be comfortable at all during this movie. How would you rate this movie?
I would give it an 8.5 as well.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see here, or you want us to watch another wacky movie to mess up my mental state, let us know down below. Give us a comment.
Maybe we might watch Smile.
Oh my God, please. Make sure you follow all the social medias for our page, and also follow our new Twitch channel, Bunny Brown Plays. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.